This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Well, Meek Mill addresses the whole game situation in this interview with Taxstone. Let's be honest, Meek Mill basically interviewed himself during this interview. I commend Tax for going down there to get the interview, because they had prior problems with each other, so it was risky. But Meek Mill had a lot to get off his chest, and he talked about this whole thing with Game. He couldn't believe Game was calling him out. He was like, Game's calling me out for what? And then, he took great offense to the whole rat thing, because in the street, you're labeled a rat. That's like career ending, okay? So, he basically alludes that, like, Sean Kingston threw his name in the mix, like, as Game said. So he called Sean Kingston and said, yo, you put my name in that? Like, why'd you put my name in that whole thing where, the whole robbery thing? Like, leave my name out of that shit. Now, he claims that him and Game talked the day after Sean Kingston got robbed, and, they were cool with it. He clarified everything to Game, and Game was cool with it. And, Tax actually said, do you think it was premeditated? And he said, well, it seems like it was, and it was carefully orchestrated with Game. He made it correlate with his album, waited for it to drop with his album, which he did, and that's like an industry smart thing to do, make it work for your album. So he wasn't totally mad at the whole thing. And he's like, I'm sure we'll get past that. It's like, it's whatever. But, Sean Kingston, he says Sean Kingston was talking too much. He said he had a prior problem with Sean Kingston over stuff like that. And, Sean Kingston just threw his name in the mix and kind of got him involved in a beef that he had nothing to do with. He said he came to that club by himself and he left by himself. He didn't come with anybody. So, the who's to blame for this beef is Sean Kingston. Sean Kingston's throwing people's names around, mixing them up and stuff, and he shouldn't be, So the whole Game beef, I'm glad that was over, because it seemed like it was kept going on. He also addressed Game going to get a cheesesteak. He said, come on, that's like me going to Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills, and saying I'm in Compton. It's like, you ain't doing nothing. You ain't going to where the wolves are at. You're going to where it's safe. You're going to the commercial part of Philly, just like going to Beverly, Rodeo Drive would be like going to the commercial part of California or LA. It's not really the same thing. So I hear him on that. It was good. He's clarifying a lot of things. Then he also clarified that photo he posted that was like an old photo of LA. He said, I was actually in LA that day, but I posted an old photo. I admit I posted an old photo, but like people were trying to call me out for an old photo. It's like, dude, I just like that photo. So, he's addressing everything. You gotta commend that. He had a list of things he had to address, and he's getting everything clear and moving forward with a clean slate. And you gotta respect that.